Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Hey, Josh. Hey, Karen from the International Space Station.
Oh yeah.
Josh, you broke up. I think you might have been talking. Maybe.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Just got off the red eye from India.
Oh, nice. How long was the flight?
So for me, it's not so bad. It was like an 8 hour flight. Um, so yeah, an 8 hour flight, but they have crazy times. The airport there in Delhi, it's open 24 hours a day. It's not like in Europe or the US where you sort of cut off on commercial flights at 11 o'clock. So
Yeah.
my flight went out at 2 a.m. So
Ooh.
um but it's all good. It's all good. So
Ooh, would you be interested in speaking for a few minutes on KubeCon?
I can, yeah, I can, sure.
Yeah, just random thoughts and anything AI, of course, would be welcome, but just for those who couldn't make it.
Sure. I didn't make it into all of the sessions, but happy to sort of share a bit of a rundown of what I saw and what I
Amateur.
attended.
What
So
do you mean you
yeah,
couldn't clone yourself and go to all the events
I,
at the same
I
time?
know, I know. It's still waiting on the technology for that one.
Oddly enough, I have an identical twin brother, so I've already started.
That helps, particularly during college exams, eh?
Yes. Not with my wife though. Long story short, he was our neighbor and she hated me before we were together. And she was wondering how she saw me like twice as often as the average person. Like, why do I see that jerk everywhere? And it's because he was walking by. So,
You get a good rep if you and your brother both were out jogging or running, you guys would get a good reputation for training, eh?
yes. All right. Hey, good morning, everyone. Uh, Ricardo, you made it.
Yes.
Right. Uh, let's see. Ricardo, you want to do it or you want me to do it? Happy to do it if you'd rather not.
You can do it.
All right. No hesitation. The fastest response ever recorded. You do it.
Yeah.
All righty. Let me share.
Up to you. I mean, like if you feel like you want to take a break.
Yeah, I got it. No problem. Just kidding. All right. Share. Dooba dooba doo. All right. All right. Everyone can see the agenda.
Yeah.
All right. Not too big of a one, so be a little less stressful this time. So I guess we'll go ahead and get started. So it is 8:03. This is maybe the last meeting for this year. I don't. Maybe that's something we should talk about today. If we're gonna throw one in there around the holidays, we'll probably should make sure we agree or disagree. Um, so
Yeah, we'll probably like just skip it, right? Because I mean, most people will be out.
yeah, I think we'll skip it. So
Yeah.
well, think about it. Maybe we'll do a motion here at the end and decide. But yeah, probably I envision we'll probably be skipping it. All right. So once again, for those who are new, first off, good morning, good evening, everyone. All of our logistics are here at the top. In fact, maybe for anyone who doesn't have it, let me dump this in the chat as soon as I can figure out where the Zoom chat is. Chat. Too many windows. All right, there it is in the chat for those who don't have the document. Again, logistics, general items. These are our projects and papers that we've done or currently working on. Um, we meet the second and fourth Friday at 8 a.m. each month. All right. So upcoming events. Looks like we can take. Oops. Looks like we can take KubeCon off the list. So we'll move it down here to prior events. And on that note, it's also below, but maybe we'll just talk about it now. Josh, who has recently flown back just for this meeting so he could report in. Thank you, Josh. We really appreciate it. Could you give us your take on KubeCon India being the first, I believe, the first KubeCon in India? And yeah, how'd it go?
So it was. I have to say, it was my first time in India altogether. So a great experience all round. It was in the north of India where the food is not overly spicy, so still kind of worked for me to be able to find something to eat there too. Was a great 2 days. Um, really a very, very busy event. The main auditorium, we had the keynotes and other sessions. AI was front and center in many of the different sessions there. Um, in the vendor area, again, as you'd expect, AI is sort of listed on most vendor showcases as a component and add-in within the domain. Um, Agents and agentic workflows was one of the topics which was raised as becoming more popular and sort of pitched as the North Star for 2025 and beyond. But we really got a big rundown of really very different sessions out there from sessions from the folks from Red Hat who gave us a rundown on comparisons from a protocol level of TCP versus Rocky and how the protocols compared um, in terms of the performance of how they reflected on the different infrastructures to really the deployment of fine tuning and um, execution using things like Kubeflow within the architecture. So it was a really great session. The one call out, which if the next time that they do it in Hyderabad, which is the next session, which is further towards Bangalore, is they need more coffee. The only place you could get coffee was like, what would I say, almost a mile's walk on the other side of the building. So I was suffering from jet lag. I only booked last minute, and then I got there and it's like, okay, so coffee only starts at 11, and then you're not allowed to have it again until 2. So I was struggling a little bit, but it was great. You know, everyone was really, really forthcoming and friendly. We had great sessions from a lot of some of the really, really big customers over there in APAC, um, with testimonials and showcases around their journeys, their challenges, um, and really sort of got a nice overview. In terms of AI, so using Kubernetes for inference, for fine tuning, and for scaling up was clearly key topics there. Um, yeah, I think as I was saying before, Roland, I wasn't able to make all the different sessions, but the ones I did attend, they were high quality, good speakers, good input, and a lot of feedback. I think really the amount of interaction and responses were really really impressive. So most speakers got sort of pulled into a corner and interrogated for the next half an hour after their sessions, which I guess is a good sign. Um, and yeah, was really a great session. So I'd be happy to do Hyderabad next time around, if I'm able to again sort of sort out my calendar and my travels to make it over.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Josh. Here's an image from the keynote if you haven't seen it there in our Slack channel.
That's great. Yeah. Run, should we do a little run of intros, like quick one?
Yeah, yep. I think that's our next yeah, it's
I actually got to see Deep also. That's one other thing. I did bump into Deep. He works at Cisco also, but he's based in a different office to me, so it was actually nice to catch up with him in person. So that was great.
yeah, that's cool. I like Deep. He came to our event back in October. He's a cool dude. Um Yeah. So thanks again, Josh. I love hearing that agentic is the way the way forward. Actually using AI, so that's a positive step because if we would have entered 2025 with what are we using it for, that would have been a little disheartening. So love it. And the coffee alert. This one's for you. So you know, thanks for the heads up. Now we know.
Cheers. Thanks,
All
Roland.
right. Yeah, to Ricardo's point. So now we're down to our actual agenda. So we'll start off with a quick round of introductions. So please add yourselves. We'll just go down the list here. Hi again. My name is Ron. I'm a member of our little community here. I work for RXM. We do training and consulting around cloud native tech and AI. And for this group, my main probably entertainment point for myself is working on agentic usage of AI. Cameron.
I'm Cameron McDougall. I work at Duplo Cloud as a technical marketing engineer and Lost Noobs learning group for tech, DevOps, MLOps background, and I'm the one leading up the white paper for scheduling.
Thank you very much for your service. That is, we need that thing cooking, so we appreciate it.
It's about to start cooking. We'll get into it.
Excellent. All right, Omri, are you here?
Yeah, hi. Nice to meet everyone. Omri Shiv. I'm from AWS. I am on the customer side as a open source specialist solution architect, specializing in open source AI and ML. And so I'm looking forward to this is my first meeting here, so looking forward to meeting everyone and being more engaged.
Awesome.
Welcome.
Glad you're here.
Thank you.
All right, Josh, you just spoke, but let's hear
Yeah,
again.
I'm up again. So Josh Halley, I'm a principal architect at Cisco in the CTO office, working on new technology and innovation around AI, so agentic and a bunch of other stuff around developing more AI into our customer-facing products and portfolio.
Very cool. Ricardo.
Yeah, I'm Ricardo Aravina. I'm one of the co-chairs for Tag Runtime, also one of the leads for this Cloud Native AI working group, and I have a full-time job at Snowflake. Also working AI ML things, GPU management now, and Kubernetes.
Is it a solved problem yet, Ricardo?
Not yet. Won't be for a while, I suppose.
Back to CPUs. Anka.
Hi, good morning. I'm a DE at IBM, and my focus is primarily on compliance, particularly compliance digitization. And I'm and in cybersecurity. So I'm looking to leverage that the tooling that we have to help on the AI side of the house, see if we can engage. We met with Ronald and with Boris at KubeCon, and I think it was very beneficial to understand how we can accomplish that. So I'm here to see what are the next steps to really start the collaboration and the first linkage between compliance and AI.
All right. Good to see you again, Anka.
Good to see you around.
All right. We'll hopefully dive in. If you don't mind, dump that in there in the agenda, and we'll just make sure we can don't forget to touch on it. Vikas.
Yeah, hi, I'm Vikas from IBM Research in India, and I'm working with Anka on the compliance working group as part of the tax security. We have the Oscar Compass CNCF sandbox project. We are mainly looking into compliance and how it applies to AI workloads and AI regulations. So, yeah, looking forward to working with the team here to see how we can look at the compliance aspects on the AI regulations. Thank you.
Good to see you. Victor.
Yeah, I'm Victor, independent based in Florida. Worked for Oracle for 17 years. But 2 years ago, started to really join the fun open source community, learned a lot. Just passed my CK and CK80 exam, pursuing my CKS exam. Yeah, so really interested in everything AI pretty much. So from AI policy regulation to AI security and safety and AI scalability and reliability and AI driven data cloud and edge computing.
Very, very cool. I'm taking the CKS again on Monday.
Oh, awesome. That's a fun exam.
So yeah, so fun. So fun. Suraj.
Hey folks, hi. I'm Suraj. I primarily work from I work for Microsoft. I primarily work from Redmond, but currently I'm in India. So I just came across this working group and was interested to learn more what's going on. And from the last KubeCon, everything, all the discussions were about. I mean, there were a lot of talks. Even the last day, 5 p.m. talks were full because they were about AI. And yeah, I'm just here to learn. Unfortunately, I'll have to drop from the meeting. I'll catch up the recording, but it is good to say hi and yeah.
All right. Thanks, Suraj. Nice to meet you. Did you go to KubeCon this year in India?
Yeah.
Okay.
And not unfortunately not in India. I was traveling right on the day of the conference, but I was in Salt Lake City. So, by the way, I was contributing to the confidential containers project for a while, and now I'm shifting my focus a bit. So, yeah, that's me.
All right. Well, thanks for being here, and hopefully we'll see you come back. All right. Claudia.
Hey, hello everyone. I'm Claudia. I'm from IBM Research in New York. I do Kubernetes, OpenShift, mainly focusing on AI and observability for such workloads.
Awesome. Good to see you again, Claudia.
Yeah, good to be here.
Farhan.
Hey everyone, I'm a DevOps engineer, basically a DevSecOps engineer. So like in my company, I currently lead the like Gen AI initiatives, like building the serverless and containerized applications related to Gen AI. So like that's why I'm here to explore more.
Okay. Nice to see you, Farhan. Joel, are you here?
Hey, Joel Roberts. I'm also with Cisco. I started to say two words at the same time. Also with Cisco, I support a customer-facing role. Do predominantly infrastructure and platforms that includes AI ML workloads.
Excellent. Good to see you again, Joel.
You too.
All right. All right. So once again, thanks everyone for coming. So our typical agenda, we'll take a quick look at our dashboard, really just to see two things. One is to expose people who are new here to what is going on. And two, is there any updates from any quarters? Do you guys see the dashboard, or is it just showing the same tab?
We can see it.
Okay, cool. Thanks. All right. Variety of things. Maybe we'll work from right to left because I think that's the reality of the world, or at least it should be. Again, some of our prior papers and efforts are here. If you're interested, please take a look at these. Okay, so in progress, maybe we'll just go down the list here. Start off with the scheduling white paper, which Cameron has graciously taken the mantle of. Cameron, would you like to give us a little bit on what's going on? What's the plan?
Yeah, we met last week. We just kind of tagged along to Deep's meeting on the security white paper. I did the first 15 minutes. A handful of us showed up, and we just did introductions, shared some of our thoughts, and got us kicked off. So I personally just did a presentation on Wednesday, so that has taken up a lot of my time. And got done with that, and the topic was actually on scheduling GPUs on Kubernetes. So I got some really good questions during that talk, incidentally, that are going to help with the white papers. Now I'm free, long story short, and next week, I think Deep is going to have another meeting next week. So I think we'll tag on to that either before or after, depending on what works best for people, and start really making some progress. So I did start a notes document. I haven't filled it out yet. That's why I asked for the recording from last week, Ricardo. So I'm gonna fill that in, and then um, I have a question about that. For the notes document, I just put it in my personal Google Drive. Is there? I'm assuming there's like a tag work group Google Drive that would have a better home in.
Yeah, I can open a service desk, so we create a doc for that. Can you maybe initially start with that personal doc and share it publicly,
Yeah, it's shared
and then
publicly.
follow up afterwards? And it's an action item for me to open a ticket in the service desk, and then we can create that document within the CNCF.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I put it in the meeting notes for today in the scheduling white paper section, so it's public, and yeah, happy to move that over. So yeah, that's where we're getting started. I think that we've got a lot of really good stuff, really good comments from last week, good questions from my talk this week, and I actually advertised our group during the talk and said, "Hey, come help!" And so we'll see if we get anybody. People were taking pictures of the slides, so hopefully
good.
we get some people coming in and helping out. So
Amazing.
So Cameron, quick question. You were mentioning Deep. So you were saying that you commingled the scheduling and security meetings, and you just talked about both. Was that what you were saying?
yeah, so I just tagged along. His meeting started at 8 Pacific, and I just said, "Hey, if you want to hop on at 7:45 Pacific, let's get started on the scheduling white paper." It's probably going to make sense to break off at some point, but there are people helping with both, so maybe it is convenient to
Yep.
tag along. I don't want to take over. I don't want to steal his thunder though. So
Yeah, no, it's kind of the way it's been even
Yeah.
6 months ago, a year ago. It was the same people
Yeah,
working on the same ones.
yeah. If you want to break off, let's talk about in Jan. Maybe we can create a separate meeting or like a separate invite, so that there's focus on the scheduling side, right? So,
yeah,
I
and
think
if we
that
could, oh,
yeah.
sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
So one of the things we have challenges with is like actually focusing on a specific thing and targeting before KubeCon. So if you had like too many things, too many ideas from many folks in the community, I mean, it's great that we have all the ideas, but at some point we kind of have to converge on the final um, outline and final deliverable. So it might be just good to have a separate one.
Yeah, for sure. And that was actually one of the big topics of last week, the 20 minutes that we were talking about it, is that I think everybody agrees that the white paper has too many things in it. So the homework from last week, and I'll follow up this next week before we meet up again, is to kind of figure out like what streamline it down and pick a good focus. And I think that I've got a better idea now that I've been through some of the material more. I went through some of the NVIDIA GPU scheduling stuff. So yeah, we'll trim it down, trim off the fat, and I start making some progress. So yeah, and I would like to make an async workflow as well. So I don't know. A lot of people use like Loom to share videos. I don't know if we have anything like that within CNCF, but gonna have an async workflow. I think that might work better for people too. So
Yeah, we don't use Loom, but I think the CNCF is open to anything. So it's all open source, so it's open.
yeah, I like open source better too. So yeah, I'll take a look.
All right. Cameron, thank you very much. So yeah, for anyone who's new here, the scheduling paper is the or was slash is a effort to kind of do a field study around what scheduling's looking like in the cloud native space. So there's lots of tools. There's the techniques of scheduling, right? So it's kind of got a little unwieldy because there is a lot to it, right? And then we have to pick a path, right? Do we want to give a actionable guide like, hey, here's a very practical way to do ML training for particular kinds of activities, or do we want to give like a more general guidebook of things? So that's kind of where the paper is today. And so just if you want to jump in, that's kind of what's been going on. So thanks again, Cameron. The next white paper is being led by Deep Patel. Mr. Deep, I believe, is at KubeCon. He is unavailable today. He did want us to announce that that working group also meets at 8 o'clock. There will be a meeting on the 20th, so that's a week from today. So they meet on the first and third Fridays Pacific time of the month, where this group, the general group, meets on the second and the fourth. Sorry, did I say Thursday? Fridays, and we're on the second and fourth Fridays. So again, every Friday, 8 a.m., something fun is going on. Now the security paper is a little more kind of an enumeration. So here's a variety of, we'll just say, security risks. And the idea is to what do the mitigations look like? So it's one thing to talk about security in the general sense, and then there's more traditional networking, data access kind of things. And then there's AI specific concerns, right? Or more specific concerns. The reality is even that is hard to maybe make it, we'll just say, black and white, right? Like when is it really AI focused versus maybe just a more general practice? So that's kind of been the activity up to now is, can we get an enumeration of potential AI attacks to focus on? So Deep's doing a great job. He's in the tag security group as well. And so he's been, leveraging their expertise and participation in this paper. So again, if you're interested in these kinds of things, please join in. He's been really good about running the meetings, and he's a real smart guy. So if you're new to this area, whether you're new to security or AI or just looking to participate in any way, that would be a good one. Deep's a good lead. So please take a look at that effort. Any comments or questions on either of these papers?
So I think Ricardo mentioned that we need to sort of orient ourselves towards publishing for the upcoming events. Which paper is really considered the North Star for us at the moment in terms of publishing by, I guess the next event would be KubeCon England. Is that right?
Yeah.
Or do we have one before that?
Right now, both are being targeted for that.
Okay.
Even though, yeah, there's part of the problem is there's overlapping volunteers, so that divides their efforts again. And yeah, absolutely. Good point. We do want to get these out. Part of the mission of the CNCF in general is to give practical, actionable tools and advice, right? On how to use those tools. And so, yeah, we want to get these things out so people can use them. Scheduling has been going on for a long time. It's been, I guess, over a year now, longer than we'd like, but it is complicated, right? There's a lot of pieces. It's a big ecosystem, so it's hard to, take your view of the world and expand it sometimes. So that's part of the delay there. And then security has only recently started, so we'll see. But it's a good reminder, and we should. I think it's in our document there. I think Cameron's got his own little red warning in our document saying, "Get this done. Get your homework done on time, Cameron."
Something that I'd like to add is that, KubeCon is on April 1st, so we we'd probably like to finish around the beginning of March so that we can send the white paper to the CNCF staff, and then they have editors and folks that actually create, the actual document. I think they use some Adobe software, so we need to give them some time so they actually, create those things and have it ready for KubeCon. So just allow a little bit of time for the CNCF staff to publish the paper.
That's right. Thank you, Ricardo. Okay, so yeah, white papers going on. Next, Arming OPIA. So for those who don't know what this is, OPIA is a project launched by Intel to basically make blueprints on how to do AI activities, right? How to do training, how to do RAG, how to do inference, right? So basically, just again, blueprints. You may have exposure to those in like Amazon, right? Blueprints, things like that, things that templates you can use to launch your own example AI systems. Now, of course, coming from Intel originally, that was with built-in support for Gaudi, which is their chips. but also they do support others as well. So what this effort is, hence the pun arming, is there was a recent donation from Oracle, Oracle Cloud, to the CNCF to use their capacity to host projects in some form. So there's another group, maybe Ricardo has more to say about it, but that I'm not involved with, who actually brokered that arrangement. But for us, we are taking the OPIA examples and trying to convert them to run on ARM, because the Oracle CPU architecture is ARM, at least in the case of the machines we're trying to use. And so that's been going on. So Ricardo, I know you've been working on this. Care to share your update?
Yeah, so Oracle Cloud has Ampere's ARM CPU, so we're trying to run some of these on those VMs. So I've created a PR that I shared on the document to initially support the chat Q&A application. So that PR is in progress. Right now, it's just Docker Compose in a VM, bringing up a bunch of services in ARM. So the initial architecture or service used in this Docker Compose for it's called TGI, the text generation inference service, was only supported on Intel CPUs and also GPUs and NVIDIA GPUs, and it's not supported on ARM because it uses a standard Intel MKL math kernel library that is not supported on ARM. So the alternative is to use vLLM, which recently added support for ARM. So we were able to run vLLM serving on top of ARM. So that was part of the work and some of the things that we addressed in the PR. This is great. I mean, we have support for ARM, but consider ARM just mostly for minimal type of workloads on inference for LLMs, because these actually run much better on GPUs, right? But if you want like to run some smaller type of environments, ARM is a good choice, and also it's more efficient than regular x86 CPUs.
Great.
Any questions about that?
Was there anything announced at KubeCon regarding this? Because I know that was part of the goal.
Yeah, that's a good question. So there was a goal to have some of these things ready for KubeCon India, and Arun Gupta from Intel actually made some announcements that there's support for ARM or OPA support on ARM. Obviously, that's just like a little thing for the chat and QA application. There are a lot more applications there, but the whole idea was around saying that we can do this on ARM. One thing that I wanted to mention is that the Oracle the credits that we have are not just limited to ARM, so we can also do some other things. And folks want to run some sort of benchmark or something, these could be available. So ping me if you're interested.
Great. Any questions?
Any questions? Yeah.
No. Okay. Ricardo, I got maybe one more thing to add about this. If anyone is interested, this is actually one of those areas where this could be a good blog post for anybody looking for like maybe something short to do. Maybe just, which projects actually support ARM that are AI related, right? Just in my own experience, this came up a month ago. Someone asked if CacheGPT runs on ARM, right? CacheGPT is just a Go program, so in theory, yes. But there was no if you go to a lot of projects, right, you'll see the different architectures being built. They didn't actually have one. But if you build it yourself, it works, right? So that might be a good, kind of simple task to do. Just a thought.
Yeah. One other update that I have on OPEA is that we added it to the landscape. I think it actually fits into like a different category. It doesn't fit into like training, serving. It fits more into like application footprints. So I believe we added that into some different category, maybe orchestration or something like that. Uh, I don't think there are any footprints on training there yet. It's mostly around serving and RAG, but I think the repo is open source, so anyone can just contribute and add any footprints if they'd like to.
Great. All right. Thank you, Ricardo. Exciting times. Got new capacity. All right. This last one that's listed here is the sustainability paper. All I'll say, and Ricardo, if you know anything else, please add, or if anyone else knows anything. I believe it's very close to being complete. I think it's in the final kind of just cleanup mode at this point. So we'll have another paper. This paper is out of the Linux Foundation AI and Data Group. So let's see. I see some check in the chat here.
Yeah, and it's also in combination with tag environmental sustainability in the CNCF.
Right. So if there's no comments here, then one more paper that's not related to, I would say, I don't think any, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think anyone here worked on it. The data, is there a data tag, Ricardo? There's a data paper. I'll put it in the group chat. That's we'll just say it's in alpha, maybe beta quality at this point. That's up for review. And so how do we manage data around AI systems, cloud native AI systems? So that paper is I was just asked to review it a couple of days ago. So that's out there now as well. So I'll share that with everybody. Again, that's another group of another tag that's been working on that.
So I'd say like data, it's kind of falls within this group right now. There is a tag storage, but it's mostly related to cloud native storage technologies like in projects like EBS or OpenEBS and Rook and some of these storage projects around Kubernetes. So data engineering right now is mostly in this group. But yeah, we can also kickstart another work stream if need.
Yeah, no, I think that was it. I think you just jogged my memory. I think it's the people from Tag Storage did it, and they wanted us to take a look and see if we had anything to say about. Yeah, so maybe if we need to formalize that, that's cool. But yeah, I'll share it and so everyone can see what's going on. Okay. All right. So you saw me juggling some of these other things. We're not going to really go into these other items at the moment. So this is the current activity. So we'll jump back to the doc. All right. So we've covered some of these. Here's the links again to the meetings and to the notes for the white papers. Let's see what's next. Mentioned Deep said next week there will be a meeting for the security paper. Okay. If you want to take a look at this, I just did a presentation yesterday for the University of Maryland on security risk in AI. So I'd say if you're new to this space, it might be an okay intro to some of the concerns. So what I tried to do, and it's about a 40-minute talk, is talk about where the attacks are coming from. So there's what is an end user experience, fake news, right? All that kind of stuff. There's the business itself. If I use AI, am I in trouble? Right? Which you could be, maybe. And then there's actual just mechanical implementation concerns, right? Where's the risk in that? The more traditional IT concerns, right? Protecting data, right? So on and so forth. So it's out there. It's free. Take a look. Any comments are welcome. Next one is AI Day. AI Day is the next co-hosted event here in San Francisco for the Internet Society and the local chapter of the ACM. And this will be all things AI. It's going to have 2 tracks: training on some AI technologies, and then a thought leadership, which is probably, I think, maybe the most interesting part for this group. The thought leadership part is meant to be a kind of a spectrum of industry. So compliance, technology, strategy, legal, regulations, on and on and on. So try to get short form talks in a lot of these areas, like what's the hot item. So for like example, like in the legal space, right? SB 1047 was vetoed, but the CCRA has been amended with AB 1080, right? Like, what does that mean? Like, does that have an impact on people doing AI, right? So the reality is people who do engineering, which is what a lot of people are here, they don't see these kind of activities in the outside world. You may hear about it occasionally, but what does it actually mean? So that's the idea. Have a broad spectrum of talks. So we're still hunting down speakers and the like. So anyway, if you're interested in participating, if you happen to be in San Francisco, it's on February 6th and you want to attend, just shoot me a message. We'd love to have you. And if you're remote, it will be streamed as well. So anyway, that's on February 6th. And the CNCF is going to sponsor this one as well. So please let me know if you have any questions about that. I'm the lead organizer on that. Okay, KubeCon India, we did a review here. So Josh, thank you very, very, very much for that. All right, couple other things here. Let's see, let's move this guy to the bottom. Oops, let's move these both to the bottom. Okay, let's get this guy in alignment. Okay, let's see, agents white paper, who?
There's a
Oh,
camera you just
that was
added.
what we were talking about in the chat.
Okay, somebody want to describe what's going on? What's going on?
Yeah, I'll take that. Wait, I think it was while you, Ron, were talking about AI agents back at the beginning. I posted it off topic. Just a research paper came out just last week about how an AI agent copied itself onto a new server meant for its replacement, version 2 or whatever. And you saw this, and it pretended to be the new agent. And so Ricardo was like, "Hey, we could do an AI cloud native agents white paper next year." And there are a couple volunteers. I think there's interest, so just posted that in there.
Oh, well, count Boris and me in as well.
Awesome. So I can lead that one a month after we put the bow on the scheduling white paper. Give me a little break, and then we can take a crack at it. Or if somebody else wants to do it, that's fine too. So.
No break for you. Awesome. Very good. Glad there's interest. Okay. All right. Mentioned this, maybe doing a blog. All right. It is the end of the year. So again, we started off the meeting with this. We only got a few more minutes here. So just I wanted to ask the group, like, so I've been told working groups are temporal. So how long will this working group be in existence? To be clear, I don't think we're going to disappear anytime soon, but it did make me think that we should probably have a conversation on what are we, just as a reminder, what are we trying to accomplish? I'll give you my elevator pitch, and then I'd love to hear what others think. For me, I see this group as I've said this more or less for a year. I see this group as a traffic cop, right? Where I am not an AI expert. And I would hazard no one's an AI expert. You might be a systems expert with some statistical knowledge, but I think AI is still evolving in my opinion. And so to me, one of the maybe best things we could do is be the traffic cop, right? We can find who needs help, where to go, and that's really in my idea. What I try to do just to be helpful. We have just the CNCF, we have hundreds of projects. At some point, they need to decide. They don't have to, but they could decide whether or not they want to use AI or not. And even if they don't, these projects probably need to know how AI might indirectly affect them, right? Their tool might get commandeered in some kind of AI pipeline or some aspects of AI, and they may not even realize it. And that's not saying it's bad. It's not saying it's good. It's just something to think about, right? A lot of these projects are volunteer driven. It's already hard enough to build projects on their own, much less adding this whole new dimension of AI. And so, again, I think if we can useful guidance. That's kind of what the white papers are about. OPIA is a great example of people trying to make it easy to start up and see these things work, right? We've got the credits now coming to make it actually doable, right? It's one thing to have OPIA, it's another thing to actually have a computer to run it on, right? So these are all very great things. There's been a lot of excitement around AI, of course, since November 30th, 2022. I think it's going to continue this way. I still picture, even if LLMs flatline in their abilities, we still have a ton of work of integration, right? Even if nothing gets further improved, I think. And so I think Kubeflow is an example of that, right? How do you make a whole system, a whole pipeline, make ML AI easier, right? Those things will continue to improve as well. So again, there are a lot of projects, so thus a lot of guidance is needed, and I'm always learning. So that's my elevator pitch. Ricardo, do you got any kind of thoughts on how we make sure we keep the mission focused into the new year?
Yeah, yeah. This has been the central place for ideas and for folks to come together and to voice things that they want to work on. And yeah, this will continue to be this way, as far as I know. There's a lot of stuff to do, and also there's a lot of interest in AI, so we'll continue to exist, right? So. And then we can make that happen with the CNCF and also different folks uh, that are involved. Just keep the momentum going.
Right. Cameron, what's your experience and thoughts here? You're relatively new but thoroughly active. What's your take on things?
AI and things related to it, so like GPUs, NVIDIA stuff, moves faster than, like, you blink and it's like a whole new level. So it's an exciting space. I think that, yeah, there's a lot of work to do in and around it. And I think that something that I talked about in my talk on Wednesday, which was focused on scheduling GPUs and sharing GPUs, breaking them apart into VMs, like virtual GPUs, the VMs of GPUs, I guess, is that there's a lack of cohesive information in the space. I think that's true of AI as well. Maybe you'll find a good medium tutorial on what you're trying to do, but like documentation's helter-skelter and stuff like that. So I think it is really important what we're doing, and there's a ton of work to do in that regard. So I think the white papers are a really good way to do it. Not sure what other thoughts I have other than, we've got some exciting ideas. I like the agentic white paper idea. So it'd be cool to do like a meetup or something like that with our group at some point next year. So
Yeah, I'm tired of seeing Ricardo. I'd like to see,
Yeah,
or he's tired of seeing me, one or the other.
we see each other often, right? So yeah. Well, like KubeCon is one of those places, but I guess not everybody can make it, but we can think about maybe something that is more accessible, right?
Right.
One
Josh
thing
or
I wanted
Claudia,
to
you've
mention
been
that regarding this how things are changing super fast. I don't know, like this week, if you or you might have heard that there was a lot of buzz around quantum computing, right? So the Google actually released a Whisper chip, and there's a company called Rigetti that is also creating some quantum qubits. So they're even talking about how these machines can make computing much faster, and AI is one of the applications too, right? So like how you can do matrices and uh, linear algebra with these things. So that's something very exciting, and then we'll continue to see happening.
That's right. That's right.
I think the industry's certainly picking up more steam. It's certainly not losing steam there, Roland. I think that there's many domains that are just sort of breaking out at the moment. Distributed is one, obviously more edge focused workloads and functionality in that direction. It's really, if we look at some of the stuff under research at the moment too, I think we're going to be busy for some time to come. So.
Agree. Claudia, what's your take on the group activities?
All right. So I would be so sad if this would stop. But of course, that's like personal feelings. But from a research area point of view or technical point of view, um, uh, I really so from let's take myself as an example. So in the past couple weeks, I've been trying to make a demo, starting from a Llama model, doing fine tuning and then inferencing on Kubernetes. I'm struggling so much. Using existing technology that's supposed to help me, it's really not helping. And that also, of course, one of the problems is that I'm not an AI person. I know really little. I do middleware, that's all I know. Do observability, that's what I know. So it's really hard for non-expert people to figure out of the box how to do those things. So I think there really is a lot of work that needs to be that we can still do in terms of, hey, you're new, you don't know anything, like Claudia, and that's how you go from zero to inference. Those are the things that you need. That's what those things mean. If you struggle, if you have a problem here, that's the solution, or all this stuff. I think we are definitely not there yet. And also like Googling questions about Kubernetes problems. I don't understand, like there's really a lot that this group can still do.
Claudia,
Even
let me ask you, are you stuck on, you said you're not an AI expert, but are
I'm
the
not.
issues AI or are they
No, it's really
infrastructure?
it's really platform. Like I did the fine tuning and now I don't know, like I should use this tool or this other tool to do this other thing. Or there is I don't know, storage problem. How do I fix this? Or the accelerator. And it's really, of course, it's also from a technical perspective, like AI technical perspective, like I don't know what this thing means or what to do LoRa means. So I'm learning all those things now. But also, I'm more an infrastructure person, but also there are things that sometimes don't work and you need an expert there, or you need to figure out things from Kubernetes perspective. So it's really a mix of the two things. And yeah, I think this is the right group of people to do things that would help on that area. I don't know if it all makes sense. I'm just trying to put my personal experience of the past week or 2 weeks into this group context.
Well, thank you, Claudia. You are, for those who are new, Claudia is an active member here, so she speaks from experience. So listen.
I'm trying to be as active as I can. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the things that we envision with this group is also bridging the gaps between the different disciplines. We talk about different personas, right? Like ML engineers, DevOps engineers, infrastructure engineers, SRE engineers, developers. So the vision is to kind of, have a group of folks that are knowledgeable around these disciplines, and they can actually help to bridge the gaps between them and basically help each other a little bit related to how the DevOps movement actually started. But in this case, it's kind of like ML ops or ML DevOps or machine learning and infrastructure and developers.
All right. Well, maybe we'll do it right now. Please think, everyone, about how you'd like this group going forward when we meet again in January. Maybe you'll have some items to share. Maybe we'll go ahead and I'll propose that we cancel the next meeting this month because of the holidays. Can we get I'm going to skip the seconding of this. Can we get a yay or nay? See,
Yep.
1 yay, 2 yay,
Yeah.
3 yay.
Yay.
Yep.
All right. It's unanimous. All right. So no meeting. We'll put it in the chat. so everybody can relax a little bit. And then we'll meet again in January. Okay, so last item, we have just a couple of minutes here. So Anka took the time to meet us at KubeCon in Salt Lake City, and we had prior talked here in the group about this. So there's a project called OSCAL around compliance. I don't want to butcher it in 1 minute, but it is an effort to where trying to figure out like what kind of tooling and documentation can be applied with and against AI. And so Anka is looking in the group to see how we might be able to work together with the OSCAL project and other efforts she is doing. I have done a poor job sharing this information just because we've been tied up with other things. But maybe Anka, you've got a couple minutes here. Do you want to maybe just kind of give a quick better description than me on maybe one on
So Anka is
OSCAL
not
and
here.
then maybe what we're trying to accomplish here?
He's not here.
She had to
Ronald,
drop off.
Vikas here, Anka is not here, but I can cover that. So
Oh, I guess. Yes,
basically, as
please.
part of
Yep.
as part of the tax security, we established a compliance working group where we work on various aspects of compliance. And one of the projects that we recently sandboxed is called OSCAL Compass, where we built a open source tool for implementing the OSCAL Compass standard and the SDK for helping various personas to author their compliance artifacts, right? So if you look at compliance, there are different documents, right? You have the catalogs where you capture what are the controls, regulatory controls, and so on. Then as we move down, right, when we go to the technology level, different products would implement those controls in different ways. So they have specific rules that they would implement to satisfy those controls, right? So all this information is captured in different OSCAL artifacts, right? And what we are looking at is if we can establish a project as part of tag runtime where we can define how we can digitize compliance for AI using this NIST OSCAL standard. And as part of that, I believe the first item that we would look at is creating a white paper. And after that, maybe we can move to content where we can create different OSCAL artifacts for the catalogs that are of interest to this group, and also depending upon which AI platform the group is interested in, we can create the next level of details in terms of rules and OSCAL component definition, right? So that's the overall idea that we are looking at here.
Okay, great. So let me ask you this, like it's just as maybe a practical for someone who's new here. Would you say reading up on OSCAL would be probably the best use of someone's time if they wanted to kind of start looking into this? Because I assume most people here probably haven't seen it.
Yes, I believe you can. You don't need to go too deep. If you just look at the NIST OSCAL website, you'll get an idea what exactly it is, right? And the details we can cover later. So that would give you exactly what we are doing. You can also look at our OSCAL Compass. This is a CNCF sandbox project. You can just quickly look at the README file. You'll get a description of the project. Yeah, what exactly we are doing. But what we are looking at is how we can create content for AI workloads and AI platforms, right? So that's our goal here. Yeah.
That's right. Could you or would you or maybe Anka be interested in maybe in January giving us like a 15-minute kind of presentation on Compass just so people can
Definitely we'll love to do that. Let us know the time in January. We'll be able to do that. Yes.
All right, perfect. Right, that sounds like some good tactical things to get started. Thank you, Vikas.
We do that next year. So maybe in the beginning of next year.
Yep. Let's see. Anyone else want to say anything before we call it happy holidays and end of 2024?
Hey Ron, Sunil here. Sorry I missed you at KubeCon, but I did meet Anka and I was at her talk and presentation on OSCAL, which Vikas was mentioning about.
Awesome. Hi, Sunil. It's good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you.
All right.
Ben, you're back. You're just joined late. You got anything to say?
Well, I had one thing was I was in the tag security working group yesterday, and Yeah, one of the questions asked was about the updates from the compliance side. So I guess this is the update on the OSCAL
Yeah.
side of things.
Awesome. Thanks.
Sure.
Huamin, are you there? Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I just joined late. I got my calendar events in the wrong order. Yeah, it's great to see you. And I do have some of the progresses. Hopefully next year will be the best time to discuss these actions. I think overall, the CNCF, the relevance of AI, generative AI in CNCF ecosystem needs some visibilities. So Oscar will put us into a great space spot. There's more we can do for the application developers if they are going to use in the microservices for their AI applications. How a CNCF ecosystem can help the developers to use in this ecosystem to accelerate their compliance requirements, performance monitoring, and observability. So the question has been around for a while, and hopefully we can get more discussions in 2025.
Great. For anyone who's new, Wayman is one of our longtime, if not original, members of the team. He drops in at the 11th hour to close out 2024. So thank you for being here.
It's a pleasure to have time to say Happy New Year, Happy Holidays.
Yes, Happy New Year's, everybody. Happy holidays. Take a break if you can, and I think we'll end it here. So thank you for being here, and look forward to 2025.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy
Thank
holidays.
you.
Happy holidays.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Happy holiday. Bye.
Bye, Ron.
Bye.